this lesson topic, we are going to discuss on Goethe Moor, the Great Hunger, or the Famine. During this period of time, it was very difficult for people in Ireland between the years of 1845 and 1849, particularly in 1847 when all hope was lost throughout the potato blight. Throughout this topic, we will be discussing the causes of the famine, the impact on the famine on both through the land, the Irish people, the Irish culture, and the beginning of mass movement the people of Ireland have seen throughout the years. We will begin shortly with the causes of the famine, but first we will go through the methodologies being used throughout this topic. After this topic, I would like the students to know everything there is to know about the famine, with the people, the culture, its impacts, and the mass migration that has to this day affected Ireland's population. It is of vital importance that students can link prior knowledge from primary school curriculums to secondary school curriculums and further aboard. Throughout this topic, we will discuss what we have covered in primary curriculums and advance it throughout the second year curriculums. As some people may be unaware of what the famine was in Ireland and how it has affected its people, I'm going to show you a short YouTube video. We'll then break up all the students into individual work. So as we are from Wexford, we have a great resource in the Dunbrody Famine Ship in Ross County, Wexford. I want all the students to think about what they already know about the famine, what it means, and how the people of Ireland have suffered. After individually thinking about the famine, we will pair the students up into pairs for their Think, Pair, Share exercise on what their main topics are as a group. I will then go around to each group and ask them to contribute 2 main points they have come up with the famine. I will put this on a spider diagram on the board, and we will then come back to it at the end of the lesson to see what we can add to it. I chose this topic, the famine. As a Wexford person, it is easy to relate the topic to the Dunbrody ship, as well as bringing the students on a tour of the Dunbrody ship. It finds its place in the curriculum quite easily, as it links quite well with the junior cert curriculum as well as leaving cert curriculum, while also including itself in the primary curriculum. From completing the topic of the famine, students should have a more broad understanding of the culture in Ireland during this period and the further relationship and the expanding relationship we had with the English throughout history. As this may be a difficult topic for the students to understand and relate to, as they have never experienced a famine or a shortage of food, the difficult concepts which the students may find a little bit more complex would be: why wasn't there enough food? Why wasn't there enough money to buy food? Why didn't maybe the English help us during our time of need? These are all questions that will be answered throughout this topic. As this is a particularly large topic, in the middle I will introduce a project to the students. So in group 4, I will give each group a topic title. So the first topic title will be potato blight. The next group will cover workhouses. The next group will do rural Ireland. The fourth group will do England's impact. The fifth group will do migration and coffin ships. And the sixth group will do Ireland's population. Once each group have finished their presentations, we will then present it to the class as a whole as a finished entity. As soon as they are finished, the class will grade their presentations. This is a great way of practicing presentations and public speaking while developing key skills such as communication, managing self, and working with others. As this topic may be difficult for the students to relate, I will ask them to do a role play of somebody living in the famine. So somebody the same age, a rural or urban settlement, and they must write a daily encounter of somebody living in the famine. They will do this for homework and present it back to class. This is a way of assessment, and it can be done through peer assessment or through class. as well as projects and diary entries of assessments. Other assessments, including the AFL and AOL, will consist of walking debates, quizzes, and peer assessment. At the end of the chapter will be given a summative test. This will ensure the students are aware of all of the knowledge before moving on to a next chapter. At the end of this large topic, I would like the students to know what the potato blight is, what it means to work in the workhouses, along with the consequences of workhouses such as diseases and giving up your land. Also, another learning intention would be the impact of the Irish at this time and mass migration and the impact it had on Irish culture, and it still has to this day. I find the use of technology during this topic quite useful, as it may be difficult to relate the topic back to the students as it was many years ago. However, with the use of YouTube and other videos is a great resource for students to become one with their history and involved in the topic at time. The following video clip is from a movie called Black 47. This shows the heartache the Irish people experienced at the time of the famine. Now, listen carefully.
In the year of 1845, a terrible famine descended upon Ireland. Within a few short years, 1 in 4 of our people would be gone forever, fled to England and North America, or dead from starvation and fever.
Some challenges I foresee in this topic are difficulties in relating the topic back to the student's life, difficulties to show how poor the standard of living are and how destitute the people were. So showing clips from movies such as Black 47 and how the English would come in and destroy the rural people's lives because they couldn't pay tax, etc. I wish to overcome any difficulties by the use of YouTube clips, movie clips to illustrate how hard and difficult times were at this time, as well as a Dunbrody in New Ross, County Wexford. The people at the centre do tours of the famine ship and get everybody to dress up, so it really brings people back to the time and difficulties of the use of the Dunbrody, a local resource, is a great way to take the students from a passive learning environment to a fun and active way of learning, and also a great way to conclude a chapter. To conclude, the students must have a clear understanding of what the famine is, the impacts of the famine on the Irish culture and the Irish population, as well as mass movement, broadening the students' prior knowledge of the topic, as well as developing their key skills of communication and presentations, working with others, increasing active methodologies, as well as assessments of learning through the use of technology.